First half was excellent. Your plan by changing the starting lineup seemed to be working. What made you come to this starting lineup? Why did you change the 4 players ahead of this game? Answer: well, I look at each game at a time, and I look at the players that give me the best opportunity to get a win. So I do not consider age or status or past performance. I look at the moment, and I approached the game against France from this perspective. What do we need against France? And that's why I changed 4 players before the match. And what did you need? Well, if I say that, then I would give the impression that the players who didn't play would not have been able to offer what I was needing. We had to break through the wall, let me put it like that. You want to go through the wall, but of course you're looking at an opponent which is France. So you look at the qualities and the shortcomings of France. So would you say that the younger generation is not quite vigorous enough and the older generation is? Answer: well, you all know that I am a coach who likes to give opportunities to young players. Of course, they need to deserve their chances. They have my trust. I really trust them. I am thoroughly convinced that the young players will have a great career, but for this game, I made a different choice, and that doesn't say anything negative about the younger players. Question: the Dutch Football Federation before the tournament told you your contract would not be extended. I will not enter into details. Let me just ask the question like this. In how much was the Dutch Federation's decision of influence on the team's performance during the tournament? Reply: I do not want to say anything about the Dutch Football Federation today. So, question: by not saying anything, you are saying a lot. Answer: yes, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Aaron. Hello, Andries. You just said that you was proud of the first half against France. You made them shake. Well, I didn't make them shake. My team was able to make them doubt themselves. And during the halftime, I told this to the players. I said, your player is very headstrong, sometimes too headstrong, but your head coach is absolutely right when he says that your team is fantastic. Question: you played against 2 top teams, the 2 losses. Which one was worst? Answer: well, the loss against England, I would say, of course. We went through the wall today. We gave it all today. Unfortunately, we gave away the 2-2, and then something broke in the team. So I will not look at the end result. Of course, it was disappointing, but you know that when it happens, you can suffer a heavy defeat. But even after France scored the 4th goal, the team did everything to prevent a bigger loss. So the 4-0 against England was a lot worse than this loss, than this defeat. Question: hello, Andries. You spoke to the players in a circle on the pitch. What did you tell them? Answer: oh, that's been quite a while already. Well, that we played a fantastic first half, that we were a good team, but it was not good enough. Looking at the 3 games together, I think we did not show enough in order to make it through to the next round. But the most important thing was that the team went through the wall today. Question: now, if you look at what has happened, your departure, your imminent departure, do you think your team was doomed to fail? Answer: well, I will not reply. I will not say anything about this, not say anything about the Dutch Football Federation. Next question. question not about the Dutch Football Federation, but about what you did the last 6 months. Is there anything that you, looking back now, should have done differently? Answer, what do you mean? You mean I had to look for another job, or did I have to do something differently with the team? Well, everything basically, because it was quite a roller coaster. You knew ahead of the tournament that it would be your final tournament. Looking back, are there any things that you would have liked to have done differently? Answer, well, that's a great pass you're giving me. It's only an hour after the match. I really need to sleep over it. I've shared a number of things with you, not everything, but you know that I've been thinking about what happened every day, and I still need to consider. Question. From the outset, it was your mission to become a world-class team again. You said, for example, we are able to beat any team in the world. So how painful is it, the two recent losses? Reply, well, against England, it was very painful. Today, not so much, because we maneuvered ourselves in the position that we were basically playing with the knife on our throat. So you saw the first half, it could have been sufficient. So I'm very proud of the first half that we played after the 4-0 heavy defeat, thorough defeat, humiliating. But in the end, we caused problems for ourselves. We made individual mistakes. So during the first half, I think we really showcased what we're able to do. Then I would like to ask a question on behalf of my colleague Esther. What do you think will be your legacy? Answer, really, it's too early to say that now. Next question, Martina.
Mr. Jonker, Felix Hadelsteiner, Süddeutsche Zeitung. I wanted to ask you about
Soll Sie sprechen?
Ja, wir können auch Deutsch.
Englisch
Deutsch ist auch okay.
Es ist einfacher für Sie, oder?
Nein, Englisch ist auch okay. I wanted to ask you about the emotions that you felt after the final whistle. So you talk out there with many players, and what was going through your mind? Were you reflecting perhaps also on this difficult last half year, or what was going through your mind in that moment?
I've tried by all means to focus on the tournament, to focus on the matches, to focus on the performances. We had a good start against Wales. We had a big disappointment against England. Me and my staff have been working extremely hard in the last few days. And in the first half, the girls showed they have understood. And we were fighting, as we always intend to do, like real Orange Lions. So in halftime, we were proud of that. We saw the possibilities to get it done. And then in the end, when we don't succeed, it's disappointment, big disappointment. And of course, I speak to many people. Those people are people I like, even love. We have been working very, very good together. We had an outstanding staff. And we're disappointed in all ways. And that's not good English, maybe. In jede manner. Verstehen Sie das besser?
Ja.
Goed.
Andries, je hebt afgelopen half jaar steeds gezegd dat je ambitie is om hier voor de titel te gaan.
Andries, you said it was your mission to try to win the title the last 6 months. World-class team is what you said. What would be your conclusion after the last 2 games? Do you think the team is simply not good enough in order to be able to win the title? What is your conclusion? Well, reply, well, there's always the Olympic thought. Participating is important. It's a nice trip to Switzerland, beautiful hotel, having a lovely time, all fantastic. And then in a couple of weeks, we return to the Netherlands. But that doesn't apply to me. I am an ambitious trainer. I can count on excellent players, and good results are definitely possible with them. But yeah, then you look at the draw. The draw, I could not change the draw. Would have liked to have been able to do so, but the draw was very difficult for us. So you know that you're in the group phase. You're playing two potential semifinals. Today's game could have been a semi-final. So I knew that we had to be at our best in order to survive the group stage. And that wasn't the case against England. And that's why we played under enormous pressure today with the proverbial knife on our throat. And we played extremely well during the first 45 minutes. Question. So the first half was excellent, but it was not good enough for a win. So how do you analyze the team's performance? Do you think the team is unable to play at this excellent level for a full match for 90 minutes? Answer: I think this team is able of a lot. I've done everything to get the best possible result, but I do not control a number of aspects, a number of factors. I do not have influence on these matters, and I'm not implicitly referring to the Dutch Football Federation. Question: so is it the individual mistakes made by the players? Are you referring to that? Fact that the players made individual mistakes? Reply: no, of course not. Of course, it is relevant. If you're asking, are we among the best of the world, my reply would be no, because we lost 4-1 against Germany, 4-0 against England, and 5-2 against France. So no, we are not among the best of the world. But we started the tournament with ambition. And a lot of things had happened before the tournament. It was very difficult to create a unified and, above all, fit team at the start of the tournament. During the first game, we really looked well. During the second game, we suffered that terrible defeat, and in the third game, we showed a good team performance during the first 45 minutes, but unfortunately, we weren't able to do it for the entire match. We made a number of individual mistakes, and we literally were playing with the knife on our throats, because we conceded a number of goals, which meant that we had to score even more goals. So my conclusion is that the potential of this team is immense, but that currently we're not there yet. Is that a good reply? Yes. Final question? So Sana is not allowed to ask another question because the gentleman from UEFA indicated that the press conference should end. Question: Andries, at halftime it was 2-1. You had to calm down a number of players because of the decision to end the first half. What happened in the dressing room, and why didn't we see a good team during the first 15 minutes after halftime? Reply: I think the referee made two big mistakes. We need to see what Chucky Groenen did when they scored the second goal. I mean, Groenen, she had a yellow card, so maybe without the yellow card, she should have been able to make an error. For me, it's not normal that the team really challenges the referee's decision, but I think that the referee was a bit overwhelmed. So that's why I went onto the pitch and I took the players away from the referee. Or the players, they removed me from the referee. But you were quite euphoric at halftime. No, because we had to score two more goals. I didn't have to do a lot during the halftime break. Everyone was very excited. You could see the eyes. radiating with hope. Everyone was focused in the zone, so I didn't really have to say a lot. They only had one goal, be at their best during the second half, and that's what we discussed. Let's get through the first couple of minutes, because of course we were expecting that France would play better during the second half, because the trainer, the French coach, of course, was not happy. Ja?
Ik ben daar niet zo geschikt voor. Dus nu ze door gaan praten, waar was ik gebleven?
Dat eerste kwartiertje, waarom het toen niet gebeurde.
Question. So why didn't the team play well during the first 15 minutes of the second half? Answer. Because France put us under pressure, very high pressure, which made it difficult for us.
If you want to speak, come to me, please. It's okay. It's difficult for me to speak when you speak. I'm sorry. Not my quality. Thank you. Appreciate it. Eerste kwartier naar rust.
Apparently someone was speaking when the head coach was speaking. So they put pressure on us at the start from the first half. They played at a higher pace. We nearly survived it, but then we made an individual mistake, and that's a mistake that we should never have made. Thank you. Sanne. So the tournament is over. Heavy defeats against England and France. Looking at the French and English players, I must say I'm a bit worried about the Dutch national team. Also when I look at the Spanish team. So should we be worried about the future? Answer. No, it's too early for me to say that. I really want to let things sink in. I need to carefully think about my words. I have seen during my 3 years as the head coach some excellent games. The youth players are performing very well, but of course there is work that needs to be done, but I would happily discuss it later with you. Now is not the time for any thorough analysis of the shape of Dutch football. End of the press conference.